Martha. Ooh. Martha. Ooh. Martha. Ooh. Martha. We have watched and listened from the mountains in disgust as your technological advancements have been overseen by a child who scoffs at tradition. And now you wish to give this over to this boy who could not even keep his own father safe. We will not have it. I said we will not have it all. I, King Mbaku, leader of the Jabari tribe. Good morning, everybody. Every now and again, I just wake up and motivate myself with quotes from the Jabari tribe. Such quotes as "ooh, ooh, ooh." One of my favorites. Ooh. But it's here. We are here. Good morning, man. It's Martin Luther King morning. We are here. Let me go ahead, first of all, to give out those awards that you all fight so diligently to have. Our gold medal. Oh, well, let me explain where you are or what you're watching. This is See You in the Morning. It is. I'm your host, Cletus Cassidy. It is an ode to me getting up in the morning and just letting y'all know some of the things that are on my mind. Just a little quick session of me just chit-chatting and talking about things. Now, I know today's viewership is going to be light, but let me go ahead and congratulate the viewers who got in and won their medals today. Winning the gold medal today, Lisa Bazemore Bishop, LBB, all up in there. Coming in second, Deborah Johnson Winkfield, going in silver. And then at the bronze is Kim Kit Kat Thomas Jones. All hyphenated last names today winning medals, and I'm going to disqualify all of you all, simply because as we have documented on many times on this show, I am anti hyphenated last name. I don't even care what the reason is anymore. I used to give provisional okays depending on your reason for the hyphenated last name, but I just think now I've just decided it's disrespectful all the way through. All the way through. So there you go. Good morning, Janice Marshall out in Chi-Town. I'll be in the Chi-Town area on performing on February the 13th. February the 13th, the day prior to Valentine's Day. I'll be in Chicago performing. Really look forward to that. Hopefully y'all can act right weather-wise. Hopefully, though I have all the makings of a solid polar bear, I think that Chicago's cold is a little different. One time I was in Chicago during its cold, and it was different. I ain't even finna lie to you. Chicago's cold is not everybody else's cold. Chicago's cold is different. It's the windy city. Very low wig wearing in Chicago. Wigs are not something that they push in Chicago simply because the wind is disrespectful. You have to go with a double-sided adhesive. Sometimes really just strap that thing in. I've seen a lot of women use zip wire when they put that wig on in Chicago. It's a different type of onus when you wear a wig in Chicago. Wearing a wig in Chicago, man, it's not for the faint at heart. You got to really get in there if you're gonna wear a wig in Chicago. I've seen so many incidents. Those hair hats just don't work. They ain't making it out there in Chicago. You got to wear the skull cap wig. That's what you got to wear. But Chicago's cold is different. Chicago is Antarctica in America, is what it is. But I'll be out there in February, so if y'all can keep the weather up just a little bit, if y'all can keep it up just a tiny bit, a smidgen, just for me, I'll be highly appreciative when I go out there. Also got February the 11th in Portsmouth, Virginia. I'll be out with Kiki Wyatt, also known as the most fertile woman on earth. Then March the 12th, Sunday, March 12th, I'll be at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone. So you got 3 opportunities to come see me and do my thing live. So I just want y'all to know that's how it is. And I don't know why people always say you can come see me live, because Basically, you view people when they're dead. And if I come and say y'all can come and view me, that means that I've kicked the bucket. I will no longer be seeing you in the morning. Then you come and view me dead. You see somebody live, you view them dead. That's how it goes. Big weekend this weekend, man. NFL football started their playoffs this weekend. The Cowboys have an opportunity to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory tonight. So we all look forward to that. I don't think people have looked forward to a playoff game as much as they're doing tonight. They just can't wait for the Cowboys to lose. I'm one of those people. I can't wait for the Cowboys to lose. Now they'll probably do something ridiculous like win on this evening, but hopefully the Great White Knight, the man, the myth, the legend. When whiteness is encapsulated in America, it is Tom Brady. Tom Brady is all that is white with America. When you sit and when white people have white people meetings, because they have them. They have meetings where they just sit around and they just say what is the best for the agenda of whiteness in America. And one of the things they say is we need a spokesperson. We need a spokesperson for whiteness. And for a long time we had Captain America, Superman. Then they were like, you know what? Those are fictional characters. We need someone real that can represent all that is white in the world. Thomas Brady. Tom Brady. Look at what he's done in his life. He's not athletic at all, but yet he's become the greatest quarterback in the history of football. He's won multiple championships, sometimes even defeating the blacks. It has been amazing what he's done. He's had no controversies. He was even able to marry a supermodel and then leave her. Amazing what Thomas Brady has done. He's got amazing hair. He's got a statuesque chin. No facial hair on Tom Brady. Oh no. You're getting natural Tom. Could you imagine the level of love and respect and honor that Thomas Brady would receive if he grew a beard? Tom Brady, an Apollo legend. I love everything about Tom Brady. I actually don't. I just feel like you have to say that. I believe if they could change the national anthem or the Pledge of Allegiance, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to Tom Brady, wherever he stands. I think that's what they would do. I really think so. They love Thomas Brady. Love him. So hopefully Tom Brady can get in and be Tampa proud and win. The Jacksonville Jaguars, for some reason, won a game. We didn't know. I don't even think they had planned on doing it. But the Jaguars, they actually won that game, so they moved on. You got yesterday in a surprise, the Giants realized it's more advantageous to score more points than the other team. Usually the Giants don't do that. But they decided, hey, let's do something different here in the playoffs. And so the Giants are moving on. There's some other teams. The Ravens were like, you know what? We could win. But what would that prove? So the Ravens were like, you know what? We like Cincinnati. They're more equipped for this than we are. We'll go ahead and give them a game. So that happened as well. And there was one other game. Football was just weird this weekend. I cared but didn't care. That's how it was for me. I was like, I care, but do I about these playoffs? It's like I kind of sort of. Oh, the 49ers just made waste of the Seahawks. So that wasn't pretty at all. Man, what I will say is that 49er fans are teetering so close to the line to becoming Cowboy fans. The 49er fans, they're really close. They are really close to becoming Cowboy fans. And the Buffalo Bills defeated the Dolphins. But you would expect in a battle of a Dolphin and a Buffalo, you would expect the Buffalo to come out on top unless the fight was happening in the water. That would give the Dolphin a slight advantage. But mostly put, the Buffalo should always come out on top. I don't know a lot, but I just believe that a Buffalo should come out on top if it gets into a fight with a Dolphin. Now, Dolphins aren't known normally as fighters, but they will scuffle, especially the bottlenose dolphin. The bottlenose dolphin is known because it has a nose like a bottle. And so any animal that already has the propensity to hold liquor can always win in a fight. I think if you fill a bottlenose dolphin up with Ciroc, it wins every time. Every time. Good morning. Some of the people coming in late. Good morning, Asia, Candace, Crystal Peel, Denzel Glover. Now, listen, let me tell you something. That is, I don't know what you do for a living, Denzel, but you have missed the mark if you're not an actor. You have two amazing Denzel Washington and Danny Glover. If you can be a mixture of both Denzel and Danny, you're amazing. If Denzel Washington and Danny Glover had a baby and named it Denzel Glover, that will A, be weird because who's having a baby, but B, man, you could have a step up. So really wrapping up the playoffs this weekend, you'll have the Jaguars against the Chiefs. Easy win for the Chiefs. I think the Jaguars magic runs out. You have the Giants against the Eagles. Easy win for the Eagles. I just don't believe the Giants can do it. You have the Bengals and the Bills. Bills. Bengals. The Bills. I just want the Bengals to win so that black people can realize that that's an E. It's not the Bengals. I've heard for years, old people and people are like, we don't play the Bengals. They're not playing the Bengals. Bengals are bracelets. Bengals are bracelets. These are Bengals. It's a tiger. The Bengal Tigers. Then Saturday, this weekend was a good weekend for me, man. I don't know what else y'all did this weekend. I was able to perform this weekend. I was able to perform at a fundraiser for a Rising 5, not 501c3. Yeah, 501c3. They're doing it the right way. They're getting involved, getting out in the community. So I was really impressed and able to do that. The name of the 501c3, the nonprofit, is Zavi Cares. So I was able to get out there, do a little comedy for the Zavi Cares Foundation. Now, it's a foundation birthed out of a negative experience, but I think even in negative experiences, things can grow that'll be positive. So I was really excited to be out there and help them kick off, as you will. We're keeping on with the football thing. Kick off Zavi Cares. So that was great. And then today I'm up early because it's Martin Luther the King birthday. We are observing Martin Luther the King's birthday. Now, I'm gonna tell you something about Martin Luther King. I I weep for him sometimes because now I see that today's supposed to be a day of service, a day of working, whatever. Most people are taking the day off. I ain't even gonna lie. Even the most staunch racist is taking off today. It's who? Martin Luther the Coon. I wish I would celebrate his birthday. I mean, I'm not going to go to work, but I'm not celebrating that monkey. Even the most racist person takes the day off for Martin Luther King Day. So it's Martin Luther King's birthday. I'm going to be participating in a march. And I ain't even going to lie to you. I may not march. I will probably slow stroll. I'm not going to skip to my I'm going to take it as slow as possible. I just think that God has served us a fierce hand. It's been 97 degrees all winter this year. And then on today, real winter weather, 12. I would prefer that the temperature be above my waist size. Somewhere in the mid 50s. If we can get the temperature up at least to my waist size, mid 50s. Now, a lot of y'all are wondering why my waist size is so large. It's because of the fatsism involved in being a chunky man. Chunky men don't get all the advantages that chunky women get. Now, you chunky women, and I'm going to go ahead and say it out loud. Chunky women, first of all, can't accept their chunk. That's one of the first problems we have. Chunky women, you need to start accepting the fact that you are chunky and you are fat. You are not, and I hate to say this, you are not full figured. Full figured should be saved for people who have all their body parts. If you haven't had an amputation, if you ain't missing a liver or a kidney, then you're full figured. Everybody's full figured. If you don't have a head, then you're not full figured. If you got both of your arms, you're full figured. You're just full figured if you have your full figure. You're fat if you're chunky. I believe we got to go ahead and admit our chunkiness, embrace it. It's so much of us there that we need to just go ahead and hold on to it. I have chunky people goals. Like, I usually am found attractive by chunkier women. Chunky women like me. To them, I'm skinny. Chunky women enjoy me. But two people of my chunk level really can't be together. We've been getting the math wrong all the time. We've been throwing two chunky people together. We keep getting chunky people together and putting them in relationships, and they just become a huge conglomerate. That's what two, they're not a couple. When you got two chunky people together, they're a conglomerate. They're not a couple or a choir. One of the two. They get together. I now pronounce you a choir. And now I pronounce you a conglomerate. You can't do it. Two chunky people, we don't get together well in pictures. It's hard. The best thing you can do is put two skinny people together, and they can look like the Roman numeral 2, or or you put a thin person and a chunk together. So thin and thin or thin and chunk. And then you got to remember either you want to look like the Roman numeral 2, or you want to look like a lowercase or uppercase B when together in your pictures. And that's quite simple. You got the skinny person here, then you're gonna have your chunkier person. Sometimes that chunky person only presents their chunk in that lower region, giving us the lowercase b. But sometimes you got the heftier person, maybe even the skinny person is the man, and the heftier person is of the womanage, and she's gonna provide chunk in multiple areas. So she can give us a capital B, and we're okay with that. We have been getting it wrong because thin and chunk needs to be together just for the pictures. It's nothing worse to me. And this is just me. Everybody might not feel this way on this great Martin Luther King birthday. But when you try to get together, you got two chunky people and they try to do that hug holding picture. The hug is supposed to go all the way around. Your hands are supposed to meet in the back. So many times when we have two chunky people, we can't get around that back. You got the nuzzle right in these mid regions here because you can't get your arms around the back of your lover. Let me just show you. Here's a chunkier water bottle. What you would love to see is the picture, the two lovebirds, hands across. But because of chunk levels, sometimes we can't get past right here. We get caught in that meridian with the hands. It don't look right. It looks like failure. You just struggling to get your hands around. Then normally she can't get her hands around him. You got two hefty people and their hands are just in limbo. We don't need this. We need to get all the way around on that hug. Now, if you're already experiencing double chunk love, it's okay. If you already are double chunking, it's fine. Just know your pictures don't look right. If you double chunking, you just got to go with the high fives beside each other, or here. It's hard to get that picture right. It's hard to get that picture right. Now, what I have realized is that women in a double chunk relationship have learned how to make that picture look right. Women in a double chunk relationship will never allow them to take the face-to-face picture. You're never gonna take the face-to-face in the double chunk. Never, because of the arms. What the double chunk will do, that woman will always be bright enough to turn around, go backside. You put your hands around, she continues your hands by moving her arms here and placing them here. I love that about women. Women believe that this covers all wrong. Fellas, this is why women pose here to cover what they got going on in their stomachal region. We let it all hang out. Women care. They gonna put them hands up there like we don't know what's behind that wall. We know what's behind that hand wall. Let it fly. Don't be afraid of your chunk. You earned it. If you are chunky, you have earned your chunk. Don't let people make you feel bad about your chunk. Now, if you want to get rid of it, that's on you. New year, people have resolutions. They're gonna work out. They're gonna slim down. They're gonna have surgeries, all kinds of stuff. If you want to get rid of it, that's on you. But you earned it. Every pound you got, you earned, and feel proud of it. Be proud of your pounds. I tell people all the time, it takes just as much work for me to be out of shape as it does for a guy to be in shape. As a matter of fact, as much work as it takes for me to be this fluffy, it maybe even be more work than the guy that goes to work out. You're only working out 2-3 hours a day. I'm working in on my chunk gets worked on 24 hours a day. I've got to make sure I'm eating way more calories than I expend. There are times when I feel like moving, and I be like, nah, if I move too much, there's a risk of losing some weight. There are rules and regulations that I put in. Matter of fact, round is a shape. A lot of y'all keep talking about you in shape because you muscular. Muscular is not a shape. You ain't been in no kindergarten class when they've gone over the shapes. You never been in no kindergarten class when they talking about shapes. And one of the shapes that come up is muscular. Triangle's a shape. The square's a shape. Circle, shape. So again, I'm in shape because I'm round. Round is a whole shape. Round is a shape. Now I don't know how we got to this. I don't know how we got here. Nobody ever knows how we get anywhere. I just want to let y'all know that that's what I was thinking on this morning. So now I'm getting ready to go, and I'm gonna go walk for Martin Luther King. And I think that I would be remiss if I didn't say that that man worked in a different time and provided for us a lot of the things that we have right now. A lot of things. Look at James. Round is completeness. Hmm. James, you spitting on something. You spitting right now. James, listen, I had to take a pause. Completeness. I'm shaped like the number 7. Completeness. It is finished. The fullness. Listen what the Bible says about the earth, the fullness thereof. It ain't never said anything about the thinness thereof. The Lord never speaks on lack. He never speaks on the thinness. He speaks on the fullness, abundance. Is what I don't consider myself fat. I consider myself abundant. That's what I am abundant. I'm abundant. I'm going out, man. I would be remiss if we didn't go out there and thank. Yeah, there it is, James. I would be remiss if I didn't go out and march in the Dr. Martin Luther King March. Now, I did research all the local Dr. Martin Luther King marches, and I found the one that's actually the shortest. There were a couple of Dr. Martin Luther King marches that was going to be some distance. I was like, ugh, I just need something that's going to go a block and a half. So that's what I found. So I'm going to be out there for that. There's some people are overcommitted. They were trying to do a mile for the king, a kilo for the king, and that kind of went the wrong way because then all the drug addicts were like, "Oh, we doing kilos for Martin Luther King," and I was like, "No, not those kind of kilos. The kilometer is what we're doing, not a kilogram." 1K for the king. Now you Negroes have gone and they're doing parties for Martin Luther King tonight, and I just don't think he marched for Hennessy unless Hennessy is a person. I don't think he marched for that. Now I'm being told by the great Dr. Calvin J. Hill, don't wear Stacey Adams. And let me tell you something, I just can't. I can't. There's no need. I went yesterday to a finer men's clothing store, and let me let y'all know something, ladies. It's just not gonna happen. I don't. I've gotten to a point now where I've gone into the men's fashion stores and the array of colors and shiny stuff. I walked into a particular men's clothing and I saw some shiny velvet. And I said to myself, who is buying this stuff? Why do they continue to sell shiny velvet clothes for men? And if you're going to sell shiny velvet clothes, let's stop at like a 28. Let's stop in that size range. Now, a lot of you ladies are saying a 28, that's huge. And this was a point I was making earlier. It's not really huge. A 28 is small for a man. That's a small man, a 28. Is it really just a big child in the 28? The way that society has set it up against fat men ever being successful, they immediately try to destroy the self-esteem of a man. And because our sizes start at places that you just cannot even reach, right? Look at a woman's clothing. Women's clothing starts right where it should start, with a 0. The smaller woman wears a 0. Now they have an extra small, which I think is ridiculous. Why are you allowing yourself to be that? If you're a full adult, you shouldn't wear extra small. Now if you are a midget, a little person, then that okay if you're wearing a zero. But as a full grown adult, you shouldn't be wearing a zero. The further west I go, I realize the thinner people get. I think I'm okay with living here on the east and in the south, the southeast. This is a beautiful region. This is a region where fat is embraced and loved. We ain't got no size zeros out here. We live in a land where pork rules. We live in a land where flavoring happens, where we don't eat vegetables that don't already have a meat cooked into it. That's what you want. And even if we don't have a meat cooked into our vegetables, they got something called liquid smoke that we put in there. This area is made for the chunky. We ain't got no tofu out here. So this is ridiculous. The further west you start going, the thinner people get. But if you look at women's clothing start at a zero. Men's clothing 28. How do we pick them? Start me. I would feel better about myself as a man if I was wearing a 15. Come on, man. Can you imagine how thin you'd feel, no matter how big you really are? If you come waddling in there in a size 18, man, that's all right. Men, when you get to be a chunky man and you got to go in there and ask for a size 126, it's ridiculous. You just feel like there should be a beeping behind you when you back up. You feel like if you're wearing that 126, when you back up, it should be a beeping sound. Every time, that's how you feel. I feel sorry for men. We never get it right. We never. You ever tried to buy a suit as a man? And it's even worse. So no matter what size you wear in real life, suits start even higher. If you wear 28, your suit size gonna be a 49. So when you a grown man trying to put on a suit as a chunky man, you got to go in there and be like, let me get that 72R. Let me get that 72L. And that ain't for left and right. You in there in a size 72. Man, ladies, y'all may not know this about a man's suit. They don't even make the pants. The pants ain't even cuffed. They just throw material out there. They just make some material in the pants, and we'll get it right later. You go get that suit. It's crazy. Don't even talk about Husky, James. Husky. Here's the thing about Husky. You don't wear Husky as a man. They only put that H on young boys. The term Husky was created by fatsists, and that's people who are racist against fat people, to keep young boys upset and body shame them. Because look at what girls get. Misses, juniors, ladies, young ladies, they never let fat girls know that they fat. But that fat boy and that skinny boy gets slim and husky. That's all you get in boys' clothes. A 28 slim, a 28 husky. Husky. And then they throw that giant H on the back of your pants. You know, it was hard growing up having to wear husky pants. Crystal talking about plus. Plus don't sound bad. Plus don't sound bad at all. You like plus. James, you know you didn't want to wear a husky. A husky is a dog. I got to wear the dog clothes. I would love, man, as a young boy, I love to be known as plus. This guy's plus size. Hey, plus, positive. Why don't we call little girls husky? Come on, bring your little husky child in here. Bring your little husky daughter in here. Husky sounds like you have a breathing problem. When you husky, you sound like you have a breathing problem. Husky makes it sound like you got asthma. Husky pants come with asthma included. That's what it is. Nothing negative about plus. I mean, unless it's like an AIDS test. But other than that, nothing negative about that plus. Or maybe a pregnancy test. But whenever you get something plus, you get excited. Like if you get a cleaner material, if you be like, this is Dawn Plus. Plus, I'm excited. We're gonna be like, when you go and you get an airline ticket, you can be like, I'm gonna be in business plus. Plus? Ain't nobody mad about plus. But if you go get you a plane ticket, they tell you we're going to get you a Husky ticket. You're going crazy. You're going crazy because you know the connotation of Husky is negative. Everything about Husky is negative. Bugle Boy jeans Husky. And it was so crazy about the Bugle Boy jeans Husky. The young man didn't even play a bugle. They had him in a full tuba. If you had to wear Bugle Boy jeans Husky, it had a tuba. He wasn't even a bugle. He didn't even play the bugle no more. Full saxophone. Husky was never right. It was just never right. It was always wrong. I'm anti-Husky. I believe Martin Luther King marched for the Husky because they couldn't march with him. It was too long. Martin Luther King marched for a long time, and my fellow chunky brethren and sisters looked, and we were just like, "No, we good. We'll do the sit-ins." Fat people did the sit-ins. You talking about sitting in, but they couldn't do all of them. We would sit at some stuff, but we won't go sit at that counter, that Woolworth. I'm gonna just tell you right now, as a chunky man, I wasn't built for it. I was not built to sit at that sit-in at that Woolworth. You gonna have me sitting right here at the food and not eat? No, cuz I'd have broke camp. They wouldn't have been able to count on me. They'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, "Look, it's cakes and pies. Cakes and pies, cakes and pies before my eyes. I see cakes and pies. I have a dream that one day little black boys and little black girls can sit at a counter and enjoy the foods, the fruits of their labor. I have a dream that we are not struggling in vain. I have a dream that the T-bones of life will fall towards me. I have a dream. I have a dream today. So yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do those. Put me in a library or something. I would have sat in. I'd have just fell asleep. But those lunch counter sit-ins, I'm gonna take my lunch. See, that's what I'm talking about. Martin Luther King and them had a different level of dedication. You took your whole lunch to not eat. I ain't gonna lie to you, cuz. I ain't gonna lie to you. Martin Luther the King and them had it different. We gonna go to lunch and just sit here and not eat? Man, please. You asking a lot of me, Martin. You asking a lot of me as a person. And there is a lot of me. But you asking a lot of me from a lot of me. But I'm getting ready to go out here. Let today be a day of service, man. It's been See You in the Morning, man. This is the episode. I can't remember the episode numbers no more. I gotta go back and look back. But it's another great day, man. A lot of us had the day off. Thank y'all so much for being tuned in, even on your day off. I don't know why you're up, but I appreciate you being up. And if you're not up, if you're watching in your sleep, thank you for that as well. But hey, listen, today's a great day to share the episodes. I did one of the best episodes I've ever had. I was in and out. I was all over the place. But just share it and tell people, hey, it's usually a lot better than this. So let people know, boom, they should watch. It's a great day for you to hit the share button. Also, if you're watching, I got the stars down at the bottom. You can hit those and support me financially. If you don't want to hit a star, you can also send a little something to my Cash App, Cletus Comedy. All money that I collect goes to the United Negro College Fund. I have a United Negro that's going to college, and I have to fund it. So just make sure you send those dollars. Where the dollars at? I will be going to March with Dr. Martin Luther King today, man. Let this just be a day of reflection and service. Even though I joked on it, I am very appreciative of all the things that Martin Luther King and many other people, not just Martin Luther King, but so many people who were in that struggle, who were in that fight, man. So many people who remain nameless that we don't even know marched right beside King or right behind them or in spirit. And so many people went through so much to get us to where we are today. For me to even be able to have the platform that I have right now, where I'm able to get up and just talk about things, it's amazing. I don't take that for granted because this is not something that we always had. So the ability for me to send my daughter to a college and she not be discriminated against openly in the things that are going against her or for her. So I really appreciate her for that, and not her, but Martin Luther King and those who marched with him, and it was some hers. So I really do appreciate those. So I think that we today have to, even though we're remembering it as a day off, and we feel as though we don't have to work. There is still work that we need to do. There are still injustices that we need to fight. There are still inequalities that we need to make equal. So as we go and we do all that we do on today, man, just keep in mind that the fight is not over. The struggle is not done. It is not. Listen, listen, it is not. It is not finished. It is like trying to get those husky pants over your hips. Sure, you pulled them over, but have you been able to button them yet? The struggle's not over. Because even when you button them, have you been able to zip them up? The struggle is not over. Even when you get those pants over your hips, buttoned up and zipped, are you able to get that belt around? Are you able to get the belt around? There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. See, there's so much. So much. So there's still a little bit of a fight left. And I think that we can all progress together, man, if we work together and carry that fight to the next level. I believe in it. I think you can do it. You are important no matter what the role that you play is. Even if it's just you being you. You don't have to be out there openly marching, but man, you can affect somebody's life. You can affect policy. You can affect the way things go, even in your own small way. That butterfly effect is real. So whatever it is that you do, let it be great on today. Because you're great today. Trust and believe me, man. You may not feel it inside, but I can feel it through the screen. You are great today. And guess what? You'll be even greater tomorrow. So have a great day and a great tomorrow, man. A great day, a greater tomorrow. Hopefully, God willing, the creek don't rise. I'll be here to greet you in the morning with another episode of See You in the Morning. Until then, I'm out. Peace. I'm going to just sit still really quickly because sometimes it goes. So pause on three. 1, 2, 3, pause. Give it time. Give it time. Pause.